Okay guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm back and you're back. It's Wednesday, April the 22nd, and rumor has it that tomorrow is going to be the 23rd. So anyway, we're going to be getting into the news tonight, and I do have some cats hanging around close here. I keep telling them that I can do this by myself, but I think they're a little bit, touch and go with that. I don't think they really believe me. So they're here, and if you happen to see a tail or what have you, it's one of them. All right, let's get into the news now. And I do want to explain to you that I didn't post last night, and I know I don't have to apologize to you guys because you always say, stop apologizing, we understand. But I just want to let you know that I'm having a very, very difficult time with my back. I can't see my normal doctor. He's not seeing patients, and I usually see him 1 to 2 times per week to keep my back so that I'm mobile. So I am having a difficult time, and I may have to switch things up a little bit so that I'm posting earlier in the day. I know I've said that before, but this time I really am going to have to, because it seems like at night the pain is worse, and I don't want to do a show grimacing all the way through it, and I know you don't want to watch a show with somebody grimacing all the way through it. So I may do that. I may just move it up, earlier. I'm going to try. Anyway, so, yeah. All right, so enough said about that. But now, if you are believers, I would appreciate your prayer. Boy, would I ever. And also, likewise, I know some of you suffer horribly from pain and debilitating, things that you have. So if you need prayer and want prayer, I know there are a lot of believers on this channel. Not everyone, but there are a lot of believers on this channel. So, and I know they would be happy to pray for you. So just make it known. And I know these people well enough to know that they will pray. All right. So let's get into some news and information. A whole bunch of stuff, variety of topics. It's just a free-for-all tonight. No particular theme or anything. So let's start. Now, some of this I collected for yesterday, so some of it might be a little bit outdated, but we'll go through anyway. Now, this is very interesting to me, and I'll tell you why. We all know by now, those of you that have been listening to me for a long time and have been following Q and all this, also those of you that, some of you have been red-pilled for a very long time, you've been red-pilled longer than you've been listening to me. So what is that? That's the cat. Yes. Hello, Xander. Tomorrow, Xander has his follow-up appointment from his surgery. And, well, I guess you can't see. You can see where they shaved him right here to put the little IV in, but he's not showing you his shaved half because he's probably shy. Anyway, all right, what I was saying is, those of you, you've been red-pilled a long time, you know that, like I happen to notice things like, okay, Trump mentioned hydroxychloroquine, so of course it's bad. Now, if anybody else had offered that information, it would probably have been considered more. But now they are saying that there has been this study done, although it wasn't an actual double-blind study and whatever, but it's showing that this drug is dangerous and can actually increase the fatality rate. Well, I don't know who did this test or why. Well, I do know why, but that doesn't agree with any of the doctors anywhere else in the world. So this study is the only study that has shown this in the entire world that's been done. And what about the doctors? There was a doctor, I think I read that on my show a couple days ago, about a doctor in New York who had treated, I don't know, it was a lot, 900 and some patients, and none of them, I think 1 or 2 died out of all of that. And respirators weren't needed because he did the drug cocktail that had been recommended by President Trump. And it worked. But now we have them coming out saying this. Be careful when consuming coordinated media talking points. Now, this is the person, Scott Fantasy, is saying this because down below is a list of all the headlines from this stupid study they did, which is total poppycock. Be careful when consuming coordinated media talking points, otherwise known as propaganda. These all came out this morning at 3 a.m., bashing the small study on hydroxychloroquine with the "More Deaths, No Benefit" headline. So let's look at this. Now, this is blurry. I can't make it unblurry, so I will just read off to you here. No benefits, more death in COVID-19 patients. Patients showed no benefit. Study finds more deaths, no benefit. More deaths, no benefit from malaria drug. Delayed death certificates, okay, that's not it. Study of Trump-promoted CV drug finds more death, no benefits. COVID-19 treatment, no benefit, more deaths. No benefit, more deaths. More deaths, no benefits. New study shows no benefits. More deaths, no benefit. More CV deaths, no benefit. And more deaths, no benefit, more deaths, no benefit. More deaths, no benefit, and no benefit, more deaths. More deaths, no benefit. Gee, they must have the exact same person working for all of these news sites, or else they're getting their talking points from the same place, which we know is exactly what they're doing. Now, anybody can see that this came out right when everybody's starting to push this drug cocktail, which is working. And it isn't, well, I guess it is a drug cocktail. There's 2 drugs in there and a vitamin. But yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, all of this stuff is in the news about how, oh, it's deadly. It's going to cause more deaths. Right. Well, I think we can all see through that, but this is more of an illustration of how it works out there. You know, they have their talking points that they're given this, and that's what they go with. And anything that contradicts that, they leave out. That's how it works. Because our mainstream media is the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. Now, I would not have known that. I would have wondered, because they always seem to speak the same thing. But yeah, we know that now for sure because of Q and President Trump. All right, now let's look at this. USA hackers. Our next step, leak bank transfers that clearly reveal Bill Gates had a hand in controlling the entire narrative of the CV pandemic, and corrupt officials of WHO, CDC, and World Bank have been in his pocket the whole time, while also taking bribes from China. Now, this is, and if you haven't heard this, Microsoft has been hacked. You know, I'm not sure why Bill Gates thinks that he can develop a virus, you know, or a vaccine for a virus when, you know, Windows 10 is, I mean, all of Microsoft products are full of bugs and viruses that he just doesn't seem to be able to get a handle on. But yeah, he's going to save the world with his vaccines. Now, let's take a look at this. I know. Don't get upset with me. I know it's at night. I know. And if you and your loved one were planning on being intimate, you know, this evening after you've watched this, you might want to skip this, because I don't know how anybody could even think about that with her in their head. I mean, I certainly couldn't. So I'm just saying, I'm just preparing you all right? And honestly, this woman's eyebrows get higher up her forehead every single time I see her. And in some of this, just pay attention to the eyebrows. It's absolutely unbelievable how high her eyebrows get. They're like halfway up her forehead. Now, I know that women, when they're aging, and I could use it probably myself, like a little forehead, they do a little forehead lift and it lifts the eyebrows and everything. Well, I think it's happened so much that literally her nose is going to end up here if it's lifted anymore. I think she needs to, ease back on it a little. Nobody expects her to look like 20 when she's 80. I don't know how old she is, but anyway, the president was not properly prepared for this crisis, and it cost lives. Now, nobody pays attention to her anyway, but what is up with all the scarves in Washington, D.C.? Does anybody know? Like, what is with that? She doesn't even look good in a scarf, and neither does Dr. Birx. Like, some people do look really good in scarves, and other people just really don't. I'm one of those don't people. Once in a while, I'll wear a scarf, but not very often because I'm short, and it tends to just make me dumpy looking. I need that elongated, to help me, visually. Which you never see that bottom half of me, so you don't know. I could be 6 feet tall for all you know. I'm not. 5'3". All right, let's listen.
Saying proper preparation prevents poor performance. Well,
look at those eyebrows. I'm sorry to belabor this, but look at those eyebrows. You don't even see circus clowns with eyebrows up that high. My gosh, they're like, I honestly, and I'm sorry, but I've never seen eyebrows this large. Ever. Like this high. What is that? Like, this is where her eyebrow line is, right down here. Like right above that, the deep socket area is where your eyebrows start. Just up there. Like right here. You can't see that. I'm pointing to it with my finger. Right here is where her eyebrows should be. I don't know. I'm sorry.
That was exactly where the president gets an F. He was not properly prepared, not with the truth, with the facts.
Okay, those are normal eyebrows. Just for the comparison. Okay, I know, I'm on a tangent tonight, and I'm sorry. I really do apologize, but I can't help myself. I just can't help myself tonight. But look, okay, like the eyebrows start. Well, my eyebrows are normal. They start in the right place. I mean, sure, we'd all like a little lift and tuck and, a little Botox here and there. That wouldn't hurt anybody. But I'm just saying, look, that's a normal eyebrow. Like, her eyebrow should start here. What is this? It scares me. And I have to sleep after this. I'm scared now.
Or the admission of what was happening in our country. Delay, denial, death. Instead, we'd like him to see him insist on the truth, and we must insist on the truth with him. And that is really what should give us hope. If he finally, it's never too late. It's never too late, as I keep saying, to tell the truth, Mr. President, and it's never too late to do the right thing and to pay attention to science.
You know what I think it is, now that I look at it? Let's just find a place where
preparation.
Okay, I think
prevents poor performance.
And why is only one side of her lips wrinkled? Like, she's an enigma wrapped in a riddle. And these eyebrows. But what was I think her eyebrows are actually afraid of her face. That's what I'm thinking now that I'm looking at her. I think her eyebrows are actually afraid of her face. Just like I'm afraid that I might go to sleep and dream about this woman. And my gosh, I might need to take some warm milk or something before bed to make me sleepy so I don't even think about her. Ooh. All right, I'm going back now. And it's sad when Nancy Pelosi scares me more than Lady Gaga. Now, Lady Gaga, okay, yeah, she has issues, but she has issues, but she knows full well what she's doing. You know what I mean? I think that she's evil, absolutely. She has given herself over to the powers that be. And I just wanted to show you this picture that I found because I couldn't get over it. It's absolutely disgusting. Here she is. She's got blood coming from her mouth and all up around her neck and on her hand. She's wearing one black glove. And we've got three obviously Aryan type children, blonde hair, blue eyes, gorgeous children, but they all look just sad. And what do they have in their bottles? Blood. Now, I'm sure it's not real blood. Well, who knows with her. But yeah, she's got a baby bottle full of blood for these three children. We're in rough shape in this world. We really are. There is so much evil. I don't even see, you know, and I'm an artist, and sometimes, you know, I can overlook something and say, okay, it's art. I may not agree with what it's saying, but it's art. But I don't even see any value in this whatsoever. None. So, and let's look at this. Yeah. So I'm just going to call this Chrome. I'm not going to call it the full name, and you all know exactly why. So Chrome, the drug of death. It's quite a rabbit hole, and the truth will set us free. These people are sick. They're all getting sick. Something happened to the Chrome molecules. All it takes is one small change, and something safe can become toxic. Is it species specific? Fascinating. I'm not going to go out to there right now. In critically ill patients, the amount of ferritin is often the key determining factor regarding life or death. So high ferritin can lead to worse cytokine storms. So if the Wuhan synthetic Chrome supplier, 3B Scientific, laced it with SARS-CoV-2, then those in Hollywood continuing to get it will get COVID-19, which will be much more deadly due to overwhelming inflammation. So they must have gotten to know this, that the supply is laced, and now they are all hiding and in self-quarantine because they for sure don't want to get infected. So the other solution for them would be fresh Chrome from a warm body. That is why they ordered all families to stay inside, and even those kids that they could snatch are asymptomatic and could have the virus. This is why kids are not affected. This is out there, okay? I'm just saying this is out there. But this is a rumor out there that a lot of these Hollywood types got a hold of, and actually Wuhan apparently was one of the biggest producers of synthetic Chrome. So they're saying that it was laced with the virus, and you know, they're afraid of getting more because they're afraid of getting the virus. I guess that is what they've been saying. It's all over the internet. I think it's a little out there personally, but who knows? Because we do know that they do take this as a drug of choice to stay young. They believe it's an immortality serum. So whether that's true or whether that's not, I believe it is. I believe it is because there's too many sources that it's come from and too many insider sources that it's come from to really doubt it much. But what I do doubt is that is why they ordered people to stay in. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, that is what this person is saying. I don't happen to believe it. You can believe it if you wish, but this is why they ordered families to stay inside, and even those kids that they could snatch, they are asymptomatic and could have the virus. This is why kids are not affected by the virus. So couple ways this could play out. They keep withdrawing and going nuts. Check Madonna and The Ellen Show. Well, yes, their tweets are just out there and will age and come out looking 30 years older, or they are given the chance to suicide themselves by taking one last hit and let the world believe they died of corona. And Ceres, or Corona, was the Roman goddess of agriculture, grain, and the love a mother bears for her child. Think for a moment how relevant this is. Enjoy the show, Patriot. This will be the greatest ending ever. It's going to be biblical. Well, I do believe that, But since I often question myself, why do they, like white rabbits, their symbolism will be their downfall. Hunters become the hunted, the chrome, the family, the bloodlines, the CV. Lately, there are many disinformations that have gone wild in this more skeptical, materially driven time. We are brainwashed into taking the world of appearance solely at face value as ipso facto, esoteric exposal. Most people will not understand how difficult it is to speak the truth to a world full of people who do not realize they are living a lie many were taught not to think. And about me, I do not do unreasonable or take unfounded hope like many do, like hopium. Do not pull all your hopes into decodes like that, because I do not take accepted unsourced information as truth. You will see. Well, okay, well, we don't care about any of that. What else are they saying? Okay, let's look at this. For the last few years, knowing the truth with the rabbit holes that I have stumbled down, and with all the things I have researched, do you understand why the main reason why I'm here is because of the plight of the children? Yeah, that is why I became a digital soldier. Start by looking at the Chrome, then their trigger warning. Chrome, he said, you won't need much, just a tiny taste. I got this bottle and dipped the head of a paper match into it. That's about right, he said. That stuff makes pure mescaline seem like ginger beer. You'll go completely crazy if you take too much. Said, what kind of monster client have you picked up this time? That's only one source of the stuff. He nodded. The chrome, or the adrenaline glands from a living human body, I said. It's no good if you get it out of a corpse. Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Okay, chapter 5, page 131. So that is where that is taken from. And of course, I have heard that as well. I've heard that source and seen that before. But yeah, there's a ton of sources for this stuff. And whether they got, well, this is interesting, Google Chrome, and it does definitely have the 666 logo there. That's interesting. They're saying Google's GPU, graphics processing units, released 2009, is named Adreno. That's interesting. Google's GPU, their graphics processing unit, released in 2009, is named Adreno. So, and this is called Chrome. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But yeah, we are aware of all of this, and yes, it was even in the Illuminati card game. So yeah, I do believe this. I do believe that they are manufacturing this. I believe that they are probably doing so, synthetically, and also making it in the traditional way. I think it's awful, but I know it's there. And I think that at some point, a lot more is going to come out about this. But whether Hollywood has been infected, I don't know. What do you guys think? It says the Chrome produced in the Wuhan facility was infected with a special variant of the mass-released coronavirus variant. Look who those who took the tainted Chrome will be blood tested and proven in a court of law that they were taking Chrome from the Wuhan lab. Prima facie evidence. Now, this is from an anon, so we don't know. It could be someone posting just, we don't know everything. Just because an anon posts it doesn't mean it's true at all. But anyways, and Gaga warning the vampires among the Satanist Luciferians to be careful. Lady Gaga, vampire bad, batch of Adreno going around. How about all these celebs getting sick? Imagine for a moment, if you will, only available Chrome supply for elites from Wuhan, predominantly. Their sweet supply gets spiked with COVID-19. All those that indulge in Chrome make themselves sick. Sick on the very weapon they wanted to depopulate us with. Top Keck, the irony. And yeah, they're saying the irony. Bad Blood, Taylor Swift, because baby, now you got bad blood. You know, it used to be Mad Love, so take a look at what you've done, because baby, now we've got bad blood. Yeah, child trafficking isn't just for sex. It's also used to stimulate adrenaline in the bloodstream to heightened conditions. Then the child's, okay, I don't want to know how they do it. I really don't. I already know how they do it, and I don't want to know. Okay. It's awful, actually. And I'm going to move on from here very, very shortly. The terror of torture releases the endorphins, of course, and adrenaline into the victim's body through the blood. Endorphin enhances all six senses along with heightened awareness and concentration. This endorphin-laced blood is let out and drunk by worshippers to experience exhilaration and subsequent addiction. By the way, chrome was discovered when Roman armies sacked a village, plus got tired, plus hungry, plus heard a baby crying. Eating it gave them adrenaline to march to the next village and do the same. It does not okay, well, you know what? I don't know about any of that, and there's no way to prove that, so who knows? But anyway, that's enough of that. I've had enough of that, and I think we all have, and I don't want this video to get pulled either. So I don't know, but they are saying that this was a bad batch of blood, I guess, from this lab, and it was tainted, and that is why so many celebrities are getting sick. But there's another explanation for that. Maybe they're getting sick because they're under house arrest because of what Q has been telling us. So I don't know. Sorry, had to do that. It was thirsty. All right, now let's go on here. This is getting off track real fast. Or not so fast. I don't know. Now, I want to show you this. This is the first time I've seen this, and it's upsetting. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. If you want to fast forward a couple minutes, feel free to do so, because this is upsetting. It was extremely upsetting to me. It was the first time I'd ever heard it, so I thought that I would pass it along, but it's awful. Panda eyes. That is the new in thing, apparently. It's pedophile slang for child sodomy. When a child is forcibly sodomized, their eyes can welt to black circles due to the blunt trauma involved, making their eyes look like that of a panda. There's even apparel selling online that says panda eyes on it for the pedo community. Many pedophiles joke about this online when talking about kids. There's many symbols and codes they use to let other pedophiles know their perverse preferences. Cheese Pizza tells others that they like little girls, while one with pepperoni says they like little boys. I'm not going to say that word, but you can probably see it there on your screen, but I'm not saying it. Is often used by pedo social media accounts, as in, I gave many boys panda eyes. Now, I had been seeing all this stuff with panda. I had no idea what it meant. I just thought, okay, well, you know, I don't know. We've got a lot of people that like pandas. You know, it's just like when all this owl stuff came out. I mean, I knew right away why such a push on for owls everywhere. But I had no idea with this. But look, here is Lady Gaga with her panda eyes. And this is a little boy that has been traumatized in that way. And you can see the black eyes. This little boy, I just pray for him. I pray that he's okay. If somebody took a picture of it, this boy is probably safe and was probably taken to a hospital, I would assume. But I just hope he's okay. All right, so there you go. There's something else to be aware of. And remember when half a dozen senators committed insider trading and profited off a effing pandemic, and 24 hours later everybody forgot about it, just pretended it never happened? That's exactly what has just happened, because there are a half a dozen senators that committed insider trading with all of this coronavirus stuff. And yeah, we don't even hear anything about it anymore, do we? Now, what is going on with that? Because if that were you or I or Martha Stewart, we'd be in prison, right? I mean, Martha Stewart went for prison for much, much less. So yeah, I don't get that, except that I don't know if there were Republican senators as well as Democrat or not. I'm not sure who they were. I know who some of them were, but you know, the usual suspects. But other than that, all right, now we've got lots and lots of stuff here, and I'm not going to be able to get through it all, but let me give it a good college try. Okay, newly released documents. FBI's Peter Strzok and Lisa Page texted each other on report WikiLeaks was provided. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Let's just pretend that never happened. Newly released documents. FBI's Peter Strzok and Lisa Page texted each other on report WikiLeaks was provided DNC emails from a Democrat insider. Well, we know who that was, right? Seth. You know, this guy. Seth Rich. Can't say that too many times either, or you get censored big time. All right, so this was from today. It's fresh, hot and fresh. It seems like nearly every week more evidence is released that indicates the Seth Rich story has some merit. They're just finding that out now? A little behind the times. Yesterday, Judicial Watch released documents obtained in a FARA request. The emails show that corrupt cops, oops, I didn't mean to say that. Cops, Peter Strzok and Jonathan Moffat were copied in an email regarding a report from Daily Mail where ex-Brit Craig Murray claimed he traveled to Washington, D.C. and obtained Clinton emails in an exchange in a wooded area near American University. The information was first tweeted by, I thought that first name was Fool. How'd you like that for a first name? The information was first tweeted by Fool Nelson. We don't want you to feel like we're harassing you. Okay, this is something totally different. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit out there tonight, aren't I? I don't know. I shouldn't be. I haven't drank. I haven't taken anything for pain. I haven't done anything except had, well, a latte. That could do it. Maybe. Okay, Fool Nelson, John Moffat finds Craig Murray's org's claims interesting, but Peter Strzok finds them not worthy of investigation, just like Assange's claim. Exclusive ex-British ambassador, who is now a WikiLeaks operative, claims Russia did not provide Clinton emails. They were handed over to him at D.C. Park by an intermediary for disgusted Democratic whistleblowers. So, yeah, and we know the whole story there. Oh, I like those shoes. We know the whole story there that about Seth Rich. We know that that is the case that happened. Mueller couldn't rule out Craig Murray's assertion. It says, dang you, Deep State 6969, you made me reread parts of the Mueller report, page 47, volume 1. The office cannot rule out that stolen documents were transferred to WikiLeaks through intermediaries who visited during the summer of 2016. The tweet above includes this line from the Mueller report. It took 1,000 pages for Mueller henchmen to bury this deep inside the report. This is from page 47, volume 1. The office cannot rule out that stolen documents were transferred to WikiLeaks through intermediaries who visited during the summer of 2016. For example, public reporting identified Andrew Mueller Magan as a WikiLeaks associate who may have assisted with the transfer of these stolen documents to WikiLeaks. The FBI's Jonathan Moffat and Peter Strzok were provided the article from the Daily Mail by an FBI individual who remains redacted. It appears at least 2 other individuals were also copied on the email. The FBI's Strzok forwarded the email to his FBI paramour, Lisa Page, and wrote, according to the He wrote, shady shite at AU. Now, according to the Urban Dictionary, shady means shitey and shady. AU refers to American University, where the transaction likely happened. The wink smile face could mean anything, but it sure looks suspicious. And we have down here, a follow-up tweet above points out that Mueller report in volume 1, page 47 states that the office cannot rule out that stolen documents were transferred to WikiLeaks through intermediaries who visited during the summer of 2016. The Mueller gang never looked into the Seth Rich matter and never interviewed Julian Assange from WikiLeaks to determine who provided him the DNC email which kicked off the Russian collusion scam. Now, don't you think that would be something they'd want to do? You would think. For months, we have been reporting on the Seth Rich saga, where government appears to be covering up information related to his murder and suspected leaking of DNC and Podesta emails to WikiLeaks. In our last post related to this subject, we detailed the many actions taken over the past few years to determine if Seth Rich was the one who provided emails to WikiLeaks, and we know he was. Recently, transcripts of a conversation between George Papadopoulos, that's right, I said George Papadopoulos, and a confidential informant believed to be Stefan Helper were released by the DOJ. This transcript confirms that Papadopoulos, that's right, Papadopoulos was spied on and recorded. Two things Papadopoulos, okay, I'm not going to say Papadopoulos again. Papadopoulos was not told at the time of the case made against him by the Mueller gang. Papadopoulos. All right, I'm stopping now, Papadopoulos. I don't run across it very much anymore. We know from our previous reporting that a deep state anti-Trump former assistant U.S. attorney claimed under oath that the FBI did examine Seth Rich's computer and that she met with an FBI agent and prosecutor from the Mueller gang. This indicates the meeting should have been recorded in a Form 302, but the FBI continues to claim no records related to Seth Rich are available. Anyway, we know what has happened there, and it doesn't surprise me that the Mueller report, Mueller knew, everybody knows. It's proving it. That's the hard thing. So, let me see what else, if there's anything else here of, Clevenger filed his request again, asking for all information related to the Seth Rich case. This was based on recent testimony from former Assistant U.S. Attorney Deborah Sines. So I don't know. The FBI continues to lie and cover up its criminal deeds. Director Wray is part of the problem. Will America ever get to the bottom of the Seth Rich saga? I really pray so. I really do. I think all of America, well, those that are red-pilled, know exactly what happened. But finding the proof of that is another thing. Although I'm pretty sure they have the proof, because if Q is tweeting about it, doesn't he always say they have everything, we have everything? So if they have everything, that should mean that they have, well, everything. So, and I'm really hoping that there are going to be some arrests soon, because I know that I'm getting a little bit antsy for it. They said that it was going to be, was it last week or this week? I think it was last week. There was supposed to be arrests made. I think by John Solomon was saying that, and now he's kind of walking it back a bit. So I don't know what is going on, but I pray that there's a lot. I pray that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that will lead to justice. All right. And let's listen to what the UN has to say. UN warns of biblical famine due to COVID-19 pandemic. Or should we say the UN would like that to happen? Because isn't that a great way to reduce the population? I'm sure that's exactly what they would like to happen. No doubt in my mind whatsoever. The head of the UN Food Agency warned Tuesday, as the world is dealing with the CV pandemic, it is also on the brink of a hunger pandemic that could lead to multiple famines of biblical proportions within a few months if immediate action isn't taken. World Food Program Executive Director David Beasley told the UN Security Council that even before COVID-19 became an issue, he was telling world leaders that 2020 would be facing the worst humanitarian crisis since World War II. That's because of wars in Syria, Yemen, and elsewhere, locust swarms in Africa, frequent natural disasters, and economic crises, including in Lebanon, Congo, Sudan, and Ethiopia, he said. Beasley said today 821 million people go to bed hungry every night all over the world. Oh, that's tragic. A further 135 million people are facing crisis levels of hunger or worse, and a new World Food Program analysis shows that as a result of COVID-19, an additional 130 million people could be pushed to the brink of starvation by the end of 2020. He said in a video briefing that WFP is providing food to nearly 100 million people on any given day, including about 30 million people who literally depend on us to stay alive. Beasley, who is recovering from COVID-19, said that if those 30 million people can't be reached, our analysis shows that 300,000 people could starve to death every single day over a 3-month period, and that doesn't include increased starvation due to CV. In a worst-case scenario, we could be looking at famine in about 36 countries, and in fact, in 10 of these countries, we already have more than 1 million people per country, who are on the verge of starvation, he said. According to WPF, the 10 countries with the worst food crisis in 2019 were Yemen, Congo, Afghanistan, Venezuela, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Syria, Sudan, Nigeria, and Haiti. Beasley said in many countries the food crisis is the result of conflict. But he said he raised the prospect of a hunger pandemic because there is also real danger that more people could potentially die from the economic impact of COVID-19 than from the virus itself. I believe that. The WFP chief said lockdowns and economic recession are expected to lead to major income losses for the working poor. It's sad, but this is going to be the outcome of this in many countries. And it's not good. And to tell you the truth, it's going to be the outcome in North America if something's not done immediately, because there are crops rotting in the fields, there are meat packing plants that are shut down, and of course they're infected, they can't open, but still, this is going to lead to food shortages and shortages in meat. The price of meat is going to go up, and the price of food in general has already gone up. I don't know about you, but every time I go to the grocery store, I'm paying more. And it's worrying. It's worrying for anybody. But, and the thing is, that I'm a believer, and that I believe the Word of God. And so the Bible says that, in the last days, they will throw their gold into the street, literally, because, first of all, there's going to be a day's, I can't remember, a day's wage for a piece of bread. Like, people are going to be starving to death. And when you're starving to death, your gold and your money means nothing, absolutely nothing. So you can have all the money in the world and doesn't mean a thing. I still remember this video taken of this guy, and he was at the hospital. He was trying to get into the hospital. He had COVID-19. He dropped dead. All his money just went flying in the wind. And I remember thinking, wow, what a poignant example that money, if you are hungry, money does not feed you. If there is no food, then money is not going to help you. So it's very interesting. And of course, whoever controls the food controls the people. So yeah, we are in perilous times. We are definitely in perilous times. All right, now let's go back here and try to, oops, that's the wrong one. Let's go back to here. Okay. Now this is very interesting. Remember the citizen journalist in Wuhan, and I was following him because he is the one that he posted a lot of things. He posted stuff about the morgues there, the crematoriums, and he went inside hospitals and filmed and did a lot of work. And he just went missing. Well, he's shown back up. Missing Wuhan citizen journalist reappears after 2 months. Li Shenyu said he was, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so forgive me. He was detained and quarantined by Chinese police after reporting on COVID-19. Now, whether or not this is even true, or whether this is something planted, because it is being written by Lily Kuo in Beijing. So I'm wondering if this is true or if this is just Chinese disinfo, because I saw the video where he was taken by the police and it didn't look friendly. A Chinese citizen journalist who was missing for almost 2 months after posting video from Wuhan during the CV outbreak has reappeared, claiming he was detained by police and forcibly quarantined. Li Zehua, I guess, I'm not sure, was one of the 3 Chinese journalists who had been reporting from the front lines in Wuhan during some of the worst weeks of the epidemic. He was last seen on the 26th of February after posting a video in which he was chased by a white SUV and an hours-long live stream that ended when several agents entered his apartment. And I saw that. In a video posted on YouTube, Weibo, and Twitter, Li said on the 26th of February, the white SUV had pulled up in front of him while he was driving in the Wuchang district in Wuhan, and the people in it yelled for him to stop. Li panicked and drove off with the car in pursuit, recording the video that he posted online later that day. After making it back to his apartment, he saw uniformed police and staff in protective suits knocking on the doors of his neighbors. Li turned the lights off and sat quietly in front of his computer for hours, waiting. 3 hours later, a knock came. At least 3 men entered his apartment, identifying themselves as public security. Li then went with them to a local police station where he didn't just go with them, he was forcibly taken. When he was told he was being investigated on charges of disrupting public order. Police later said they would not charge him, but because he had visited sensitive epidemic areas, he would need to undergo quarantine. Li, who had to give his devices over to a friend, spent the next month in quarantine in Wuhan and then in his hometown in a different province. He was served 3 meals a day, monitored by security guards, and able to watch state broadcaster CCTV's evening newscast. You know what? This is sounding suspiciously like a planted article, if you ask me. Oh, like they have to let us know how well he was treated. Oh, he was given, 3 meals and he was even allowed to watch TV. Yeah. I don't believe it. I don't believe it because I saw the way he was taken and they're leaving that out. That was not friendly, the way he was taken, and he was resisting with everything in him. Li's tones and comments, neutral and patriotic, were markedly different from his previous videos. Li, who had worked for the state broadcaster CCTV, traveled to Wuhan to report on the crisis after another citizen journalist and activist, Shen Quishi, disappeared. In his videos, he reported on a local neighbors committee's efforts to cover up new infections and interviewed sick residents. He visited a crematorium where a worker said people were being paid more to transport bodies. At the time, Li said, "I don't want to remain silent or shut my eyes and ears. It's not that I can't have a nice life with a wife and kids. I can. I'm doing this because I hope more young people can, like me, stand up." Yet in closing his video on Wednesday, Li quoted a line from a Confucian text about staying true to one's beliefs. The human heart is unpredictable, restless. Its affinity to what is right is small. Be discriminating, be uniform, so that you may hold fast, he said. Now, I don't know. I don't know whether this is truly an article, whether he's fine, or whether they forced him to do a YouTube saying that he was fine. Who knows? Because we don't know what's going on over there. We just know that there is a whole lot of disinformation. And although they are not officially at war with us, it sure seems like they are. So anyway, let's go on from there. I was very concerned about some of those people, so I'm glad that, well, he is possibly safe. We still don't know for sure. All right. Yes, and look at this. Epstein's personal photographer found dead in the woods after going missing last month. He was rumored to have had a stash of incriminating evidence or photos of Epstein's clientele. I'm thinking Epstein's clientele would not have liked that much. Authorities suggest he may have just wandered and gotten lost. Right. Yeah, that's it. He just wandered away and got lost. Right. Let's go with that. Very, very sad. That's funny. Truth Hammer says, because there's all kinds of woods to get lost in on Long Island. Right. Yeah, I'm not buying the got lost in the woods. Just not buying that. All right, let's go back now, because there's more. This from the DC Patriot. Oh, don't like that man, Jim Acosta. Just don't like him much. He's just has no, he's unprofessional, and he has no moral compass whatsoever. It's broken. Acosta claimed Trump lied about mail-in voter fraud. Trump campaign fires back with proof. You gotta love that. On Wednesday, President Trump's re-election campaign shot back at far left. Now this is really old, man. Why did I miss this? You know what? Let's forget that. This is too old. I don't know where I dug that up from. Maybe I was time traveling. Who knows? Anything's possible. All right. Now I can't remember what this is either, but let's just hope it's something good. Yeah, let's look at this. April, U.S. death rate from all causes, including COVID-19, at a multi-year low. Now, maybe this is unfair, because when you think about it, this whole month of April, we've been, now I don't know what months they tracked this, I guess for the whole year, but when you think about it, there's not as many cars on the road, there's not as many people working who could get, injured in a work accident. So I don't know if this is fair or not, but it is interesting that we're supposedly in the midst of a global pandemic, and yet we have the lowest U.S. death rate. It's a multi-year low. What does that say? I don't know. But two, people are inside. I guess they're not outside shooting each other. I don't know what accounts for it. The U.S. crude death rate, mortality from all causes, still remains near multi-year lows despite COVID-19. The CDC tracks deaths attributed to the flu, pneumonia, and all causes on this website, and they leave a link. You can download the data and verify for yourself. Just go to this CDC website and click the green download button. Anyway, on April 5th, the U.S. saw 1,344 COVID-19 deaths as the number of cases in the U.S. accelerated. The overall number of deaths in the U.S. or the crude death rate did not show a correlated rise. Why is that? Could they be attributing other things to death by COVID? For example, if the death rate is not going up at all during this, could they be taking normal flu deaths and classifying them as COVID? I don't know. I'm asking, just like you. Doesn't make sense to me. Well, it does, depending on which way I look at it. But none of it lines up with what they are telling us. So I don't know. It says, at the very least, this data shows we need to analyze COVID-19 deaths in the context of the broader U.S. mortality rate from all causes. It appears normal deaths are being attributed to COVID-19 if the patient is COVID-19 plus, even if underlying chronic cause is responsible. So I guess if you die of something, but you also happen to be positive for COVID, then they will attribute your death to that. I'm not sure that that's fair because, you know, obviously the more comorbidities you have, the more things you have. If you have high blood pressure and heart disease and this and this and this, and you're diabetic and you get COVID, yeah, chances are it's going to kill you. And they're going to put the death as COVID-19 because without that, you wouldn't have died from the other things yet. So I don't know. But it's interesting. All right. Let's go back. Let's look at this. No, really, let's. Can't remember what it is. Oh, yes. Did you see this? These are crows. It looks like a scene from Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Oh, this is so weird.
Yes, it is.
They're on top of my car.
Yes, they are. Beeping at them isn't going to make them go away.
That's disgusting. Go away.
Well, I wouldn't say it's disgusting. They're just
I got in
birds.
my car just in time. This is ridiculous.
Wow, look at that.
Ew. Gotta get in the car wash.
I would be afraid to drive out and hit them, you know? Poor little guys. What are they doing? Well, anyway, I think we've seen enough of the crows. Do you know what a group of crows is called? Some of you do and some of you don't. It's called a murder. A group of crows is called a murder of crows. So if ever there were a murder of crows, it's there. Yeah. You are going to have nightmares tonight. I mean, Nancy Pelosi and then the crows. Oh my gosh. With a little Lady Gaga thrown in there. My gosh. It's a nightmare waiting to happen. Okay. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look like something that I recognize. Let's go down here. This says important. How important is it, do you think? I think it's probably important, so let's look at it. Oh, yes. YouTube CEO, anything that goes against the WHO is a violation of YouTube policies. Now, I'm not going to get into that too much because of the platform that I am now on. So, but I did want you to know, if you weren't aware of it, yeah. So, I am going to have to watch what I say. As I do always, unfortunately. All right. Charlie Cook. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. Charlie Kirk. Number of CNN articles on Christine Blasey Ford's allegation against Brett Kavanaugh in the 19 days after the allegation was made? Nearly 700. Yeah, that's just CNN. That's just CNN. 19 days. In 19 days, CNN had nearly 700 articles on Christine Blasey Ford's allegations against Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah, that's right, Tudor Ford. Number of CNN articles on Tara Reade's allegations against Joe Biden, who is running for president of the United States. In the 24 days since the allegation, 1. What changed? What changed? Because Kavanaugh is conservative and Joe Biden is a Democrat. That's exactly what changed. Nothing else. It's despicable. All right. This says interesting but long. I don't think we need to get into that. Oh gosh, I've still got so much to cover. I wonder if I should do another video. Some of you are saying, sure, yeah, do another video. And half of you are going, no. All right. What is this? I'm trying to decide the last couple things that I'm going to cover here, and I've got a lot of it. A lot. Yeah, this is something weird as well, and it has to do with this virus. Ew, is she everywhere? I think she might be. Well, okay, well, I don't know where it went. I must have copied down the wrong. It's about people. It's a weird thing that's happening with, oh, well, I don't know where it went. But anyway, it's a weird thing that's happening. And they're saying that some people with the coronavirus wake up and their skin has darkened, like almost to the point where they look African American. And it's very bizarre. This is, they're noticing this they noticed it in Wuhan. I haven't heard of any instances here in America, but I don't know. It just seems to be an awfully weird thing that has started. And of course, this thing is what do you call that? It, it changes all the time. What do you call that? There's a name for it. I know there's a name for it. Anyway, mutates. That's the name. Mutates. So anyways, it's mutating all the time, and there's weird things happening now. And now there's another symptom called COVID toes. And this happens in people that are asymptomatic, but they still have the virus. They're still shedding it. They're still, passing it along and making other people ill, but they're not experiencing any symptoms, but they get these COVID toes that look thick and kind of splotchy. And I guess that is now, not that everybody gets it, but the people that do, it is a symptom of people that are asymptomatic but do have the virus. So if you are finding weird things going on with your toes, please check it out. All right, and what else can I get to here? Oh, let's look at this. Just a couple more minutes and then I am going to, yes, I'm so glad that I clicked on that. I've been looking for this. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this already, and I don't know what to make of it. But they had a hot mic on while people were just talking, and let's listen to what they're saying. I really want to get some input on this because I am not sure what I think about it. They made it a comment like, "Well, we're all vaccinated." What did they mean by that? Are they vaccinated? What are they vaccinated for? Like, was this person just not very well educated and said, "Oh, well, we're all vaccinated against the flu, so we should be fine"? I don't know. Or did he mean we've all been vaccinated against the COVID virus? I don't know. But let's listen.
What's up, Barry?
All right, man.
What do you know, Barry?
If you take out the mask, Doug, the case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3 according to
Is it really? That's reassuring.
USC.
Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public
Did you
Health.
hear what he said? Everyone here has been vaccinated anyway. Let's take that back. I want you guys to hear this.
Vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public Health. USC.
Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public Health come out with a study. They found that there are 7,000 cases in California, but they really believe that there are anywhere from 221,000 to 442,000 people who were infected.
Really?
Yeah.
So that makes it 0.1 to 0.3? Does the study think about it?
Yeah, just give it to them. So it suggests the case fatality rate is 10.
Wow.
What's your right line with the flu?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
So it's a hoax.
I don't think it was a hoax.
All right, folks.
So he says something, they're talking like off camera, and the one guy says, oh, so it was a hoax. And the other guy's, no, I don't think it was a hoax. So, and people are using this and saying, oh, well, this proves that it was a hoax. No, it doesn't. It doesn't prove that at all. But it does raise some interesting questions. The first question is, what did they mean by they were vaccinated? They were all vaccinated. What does that mean? They can't have been vaccinated for COVID-19 because according to everyone, mainstream media and everyone else, it doesn't exist yet. Or does it? I don't know. I don't know. But it's very interesting, and I would love to know what you guys think about that. I really would. You guys are some sharp cookies, and I really would like your intake on this. But for now, I think I'm going to leave it there. Now, by the time I get this uploaded and everything, I'm going to decide whether to do another video. My voice is doing pretty good tonight, so I may. Let me get this uploaded, and we'll see then. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. And also, I still have not heard from Ralph Riley, and he used to comment all the time. So he may have left the channel, but I don't believe that because he has been around from the very, very beginning. So if anybody has seen him or heard from him or knows he's okay, can you put a comment in the comment section? Because I do notice people that post all the time. I mean, I can't help but notice people that post all the time, and I kind of get to know you. And so I do notice when you're not there. I really do. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well and avoiding all this mess. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay well, and sleep well, despite having seen Pelosi. All right. Good night, guys.